Welcome back, everybody. It's 5 Ace Attorney. Back to playing Amber on our third video here. As you can see, that's this headgear activated. Means we can go pick that up. But first, we're going to take a look upstairs. If I can get... There we go. We're going to take a look upstairs and go in this room, see it vanilla. See what's going on in this room. Since we got the key. We are going to have to remove the sensor. For whatever reason, when I loaded the save, it doesn't work properly, but we'll check it out later. Don't worry about it. It's not that exciting. And that's just the peak telling me, hey, the sensor's removed. Big deal. Okay, so we get a good glimpse of our first ghost in the game. Again, the peak is still bugging me, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Yeah, that's great. And here's some photos in here. As you can tell, we're going for a period piece. The war, World War II. Big WW. Winged Victory. It's cool looking. Okay, so that gives you a general idea of what's going on with this period. So we're going to go back down and check out the headgear. Cool. So hey, let's grab it, put it on our head, see what happens. Why not? Sure, okay. Whatever you say. Okay, well, to me this doesn't seem incredibly safe, but we're gonna go ahead and move on. So now we got this crazy electrical thing on our head. And we can hear voices. Wow. Oh, let's check it out.
Ooh, awful. Who would do such a thing?
Okay, so, well, we start with a very grisly scene, and as you can hear, I mean, the voiceover seems to be the ghost in question, but they don't really recognize what's happened. Or, I guess where they are. They don't really recognize much of anything. So we're just going to take a look around. There's some drapes, whoopee.
Key.
Okay.
I'm
Oh.
Sue.
I'll show you the proper sequence.
Mag. I'm Miss Sue Mag Gee. I miss you, Maggie.
I recognize that voice. Is my name Maggie?
Okay. So clearly the book downstairs talking about the amnesia was accurate. Now here's a mirror. Obviously we can go back here to get back, but we don't want to do that. Not right now. There's no real point. And the radio's on. There's a needle over here, but we can't really do much with it right now. Now, we'll check out the radio.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Now you see when we mess with this knob, the background kind of shifts. This is actually how we move around. You go to a different station and it takes you to a different room. It's very strange. Trying to get it exact. It's pretty specific. There you go. There's a dumbwaiter here that goes up to the bedroom. We're just gonna hit that and send it up there. Now you may notice there's doors. We're not gonna use those right now. I'll show you what they do in a minute.
I think I remember something about a victory garden.
Cool. Just taking a look around the kitchen. Wow. Over here, there looks like a cake. Calendar.
Oh, that's right. Ted's coming home.
Sure, so we can assume Ted's off in the war. Okay, so we're gonna go back upstairs. There we go. I'm gonna pop this needle up there.
Now, how did I do that?
Well, you throw it in the dumbwaiter. I guess when you're a ghost, though, it's kind of like, wow, I can move things.
Attention, young Americans. I know that in this time of crisis, you might think, what can I do for our country? I'm just a kid. Well, remember President Roosevelt has called on your assistance in winning this war. By attending the weekly salvage drive at Franklin Middle School, you
So that improves the
can
radio
make
a little bit.
difference.
So now that we have reception, we should technically be able to get other channels, which should take us to different places. For whatever reason, they're playing Cruella de Vil. Not really sure.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Gibson, Vice President of Southeastern Electric. When you hear the air raid alarm, light bulbs should be removed from all unoccupied rooms,
Okay.
porches, and yard lights so that they can't be turned on by mistake. For occupied rooms, provisions must be made to darken every window.
Okay, now there's
glass
clocks in
door,
every room.
skylight, and exterior
We'll get to that in a
opening
minute.
wherever lights
It's basically
are
so you
used
always know what
after
time
dark.
it is.
All of us at Southeastern Electric urge your full cooperation in this matter.
Okay, this is a card that Maggie wrote to Ted. It's basically just a love letter. I miss you. Found this marine clock. Reminded me when we went boating on the lake. You know, nice little letter. It's sad.
I've been really sad since Ted left. Sometimes I just get so blue thinking about it.
Poor Maggie. So, let's take another look around. I'm just seeing if I can interact with anything, but you can't. Okay. This just says they're escorting a convo back, Norfolk. Some raids over Germany, the weather's terrible. All kinds of crazy adventure tales that she probably doesn't want to hear about. And, you know, loves her very much, can't wait to see her. You know, it's nice. Okay, it's the alphabet. I'm not sure why it's here. I guess it's a knitting thing. It's amazing water physics. Cool old-time pictures. In the shelf, there's some stuff you can mess with. That's great.
Oh dear. That can't be good.
It actually doesn't really affect anything. It's just, you know, I want to give you something you can mess with.
Looking for the latest news from the front? Then join us this evening at 7 p.m. when WMDR's new sister station, WLVN, premieres at 129.8 on your radio dial.
Okay, that's our cue. 129.8 at 7 o'clock. Now, we can't go there right now. We actually have to go back to the bedroom because it's not 7 o'clock yet.
This is the Jimmy Victor Orchestra with Touch of
Now you might say, well, if it's not 7, how do you get it to be 7? That's where the doors come in. And as you can hear, that advances time. We start at 4, or actually when we open that door, it sets us back to 4 o'clock. Now these doors do something different with time. So what we're gonna do, okay, I'm just making sure we're at 4. Once you're at 4,
making your bread rations last. Now you can stretch
which you can check with the clocks, but we're only going to do that like once,
carefully cuts each slice
just
of
to be
bread
sure.
into 2 perfect slices, making each precious loaf last twice as long. The Budco Bread Slice Slicer, available at all Meads department stores.
There's a clock. As you can see, it's 4 o'clock. So now that it's 4, we're going to go back up to the kitchen.
Hey, folks.
Have you planted your victory garden yet? Remember that America
That's
needs
great.
22 million victory gardens by next year.
Wow.
In order to achieve this goal, we need more urban
Now once you go through this
better
door,
planned
it
gardens.
advances 3 hours. You're at 7 o'clock, and now you can go to the other room, which we will do. Just saw this. Please don't do this. Make explosive with waste fats. Okay, so now we're gonna go to 129.8 or 130 basically.
I don't like coming in here.
As you can hear, Maggie is pretty uncomfortable in this room.
I don't want to stay in here. I must have thrown those away for a reason. You better leave them alone.
Okay, so clearly it's got something to do with this. Let's take a look. Now this is one of those sliding puzzles. I'm doing the quickest way to do this, so yes, it really does take quite a few moves. Lord knows why I can't just pick them up and put them in the proper place. I guess you're a ghost, you don't have that kind of capability. Okay. Obviously, Western Union, we want to get that on top. Almost done. Okay, now we just switch these around on the edge, and that'll do it. And I'm sure you figured it out by now.
No! Please! No!
Woof. Okay, so we're back to being knocked out. Okay, so we got one of these done. It is important to note every time you finish one of these, the power gets knocked out, and you need to turn the power back on. Otherwise, the amber isn't going to work properly. It's no big deal. We'll just go back in here, pop it back on. And that tells you why it was out when Roxy was passed out. Now, it's pretty obvious what happened with Margaret. You know, her husband didn't make it back, killed herself, and we're just kind of making it so she can move on. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. You need to help the ghosts move on with their lives, or with their afterlives, I guess. So we can finally be able to help Roxy. Now, the second one, we're actually going to go back here, behind the garage. And I was talking about the gazebo earlier. This is where it is. I have to go back here, turn to the right. It's right there. And you know what to do here. Okay, this is a very odd place for a ghost to be, and this is actually probably one of the weirdest parts of the game. So, I will see you next time, and show off what's to come.